Hi, my name is Saber Washington, and I am a microbiologist here at Bristol Myers Squibb in Syracuse. I hope you all have enjoyed today's presenters as it was meant to inspire and empower you to pursue a career in the STEM field, as well as to arm you with the tools and resources necessary to pursue your own goals, as well as to inspire you to live healthy lives yourselves. I have the pleasure of representing BMS as today's keynote sponsor for this event. But before this experience comes to a close, I am proud to introduce today's keynote speaker, Ms. Gwen Webber-McLeod. Ms. Webber-McLeod believes that it is important to lead with your head, heart, and spirit. And today she will be sharing with us how to achieve the career that you want. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Gwen Webber-McLeod.
Greetings. My name is Gwen Webber-McLeod, and I'm the president and CEO of a leadership development corporation that's based in Auburn, New York, that's incorporated in my name, Gwen Inc. We are in the business of helping emerging and established leaders learn how to live great lives in and on purpose by focusing on developing these skills: confidence, competence, courage, and calm. And I'm so excited to have been invited to be the keynote speaker for STEM Has Heart. Part of my excitement is around that I believe that young leaders, high school and college students, are the future of our country. And I want to give you a piece of data that'll help you think about this too. Did you know that 84% of new entrants into the workforce over the next 5 to 10 years are going to be female, millennial, and younger, and people of color? I'm talking about you. You are the leaders that we are going to be looking for. And as you pursue careers in STEM, it's going to be so critical for you to see yourselves as the most important leaders in your lives. So to get you started on this journey on considering STEM as an academic or career pursuit, I want to inspire you to get on your own leadership journey. So today's presentation is called The Leadership Journey for Young Leaders. I invite you to reflect on this presentation and then to begin to think about what you can do to begin seeing yourself as the most important leader in your life. One of the things that I want to invite you to do is to start leading today. I see amazing young leaders everywhere I go. And the truth is, many of them are your age. In fact, I've even had the opportunity to observe some Head Start classrooms, and I already see leaders emerging in these 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. So it's not too early for you to begin. Now is the time to begin your leadership journey, but you need to be focused on what you're going to do to get yourself started. So this next slide is going to give you some information that will be helpful to you. One thing I want to inspire you to believe is that it's all within you. Everything you need to be a leader who lives in and on your purpose is already within you. You just got to bring it out. And I want to invite you to consider that as a young person, you demonstrate leadership all the time. And here's something, because you can't do a good job unless you know what it looks like. So here's what good leadership and a young person looks like. It's a combination of you developing a philosophy. What do you believe? You need to have some skills. Like, what do you need to know? And then you need to think about your behavior. What is it that you will do to show to yourself that you're someone who's leading and living in and on purpose, and bringing that with you into school and to college as you begin to pursue your career, hopefully in STEM. This next slide will give you some more details. So here's what I see young leaders do. And I want to say something about that, because people will hear what you say, but they're only going to believe what they see you do. So it's important for you to demonstrate in your word, action, and deed that you are practicing developing the competencies of a confident, competent, courageous, and calm young leader. So here's what I see my brother and sister leaders who are your age doing. They are mission driven. They are on a mission about being an effective leader and being successful. They have a ton of skills and they keep their eyes on the prize. They set a vision for themselves, and then they live out that vision. Let's drill down into this a little bit. When I say it's important for you to develop a philosophy and be mission driven, what I mean by that is this, is that it's so important for you to take some time to know who you are. And as a young person, it can be difficult to do that because peer pressure is something else. So it's important for you to quiet yourself, deflect any kind of ideas about you that other people are trying to put on you, and spend some time knowing who you are. What do you believe? What do you stand for? All of that is important. When I talk about knowing what you stand for, it's critical for you to identify a set of values and beliefs that will be at the foundation of every single thing you do. And then when you're ready, write it all down into a personal mission statement. And all a mission statement is a piece of paper, a Post-it note, a piece of art that you create that's a daily reminder to you that you know who you are. You know what you believe, and you're going to stand on this and refuse to be deterred from achieving your goals. Next, I want to talk to you about having skills. Skills are critical. And Miss Gwen's going to talk to you about this from a couple of perspectives. It's really important for you as a young leader to develop good verbal and written skills. But I want to specifically talk to you about being a great communicator. And you see right next to that, I've written the word bilingual. I know that many of you already speak multiple languages, but I want to talk to you about learning when to switch from teenage lingo to having the ability to have conversations with adults. In my role, we call that code switching, and I'm going to use my son as an example. My son will often, as a teenager, come into the driveway, and I'd hear him out in the driveway like, yo, man, I'm going to meet you at the basketball court, and we're going to get it. And he'd come in the house and see that my friends were there, and he immediately knew to switch. He'd take off his hat, wash his hands, come into the living room, and start shaking hands with my friends. How are you doing, Miss Judy? What's going on? Hi, Miss Angela. As teenagers, it's important for you to learn when to switch, because adults don't always understand what you're saying when you speak it in your lingo. They're not like Miss Gwen. They're probably not watching MTV, BET, and listening to what you listen to. So you have to become someone who can communicate with people across generations. You've already got this next skill down pat. And I'm so glad you're focusing on STEM, because being technology savvy is critical to your success. Every field of endeavor is going to increasingly require you to learn how to use technology. So continue learning to be skillful on your cell phone, on that computer, on that pad. And you will hear speakers that will let you know about emerging technologies, so you can already know how to get focused on developing those skills. Another important skill is for you to build relationships with other teens and adults. Leadership is not a job to do alone. You'll see that at the top of my slide. And the most successful teens that are my colleagues are people who have built effective relationships with people their own age and adults in their lives. And I want you to really think about that and be critical and specific. And one of these people can be your mentor or your coach. And you probably already have a classmate or someone in your circle that you look up to. Don't hesitate to seek their advice and input as you're on the leadership journey, and identify some trusted adults that you can speak to and go to about not only academic success, but about making sure that the condition of your head, your heart, and your spirit are such so that you will be mentally and emotionally strong as you pursue your future, hopefully with a focus on STEM. And the final skill that I'm observing very talented team leaders have is they're comfortable with diversity. They know how to move across the different demographics, the different groups in their family, their school, and their community. So I really want to encourage you to focus on these skills. And guess what? They are the exact skills I see in the most talented adults that I work with in my company. So you might as well get on the journey and come join us. And the last thing that I really want to talk about in terms of these slides is that it's so important for you to develop behaviors that are going to help you be successful. As I said earlier, people are going to hear what you say, but they're only going to believe what they see you do. So it's critical that you have your eyes on a prize. And another way to think about the prize is, what is the vision that you hold for your future? I want to tell you a secret. Most adults, for example, change their careers at least 5 times before they start living their wildest dreams. So the vision I'm inspiring you to consider at this point can simply be, what do you think you want to do and accomplish over the next 2 to 3 years? Because that's all you need to think about. So here's some ideas for what to do. Define your future with plans. Make some notes. Keep a journal about, this is what I think I might want to be when I grow up. And I also want to say, reserve the right to change your mind, because as you grow up and you're on your journey to leadership, you're going to discover that you might be passionate about a lot of things. You don't have to know everything right now. It's just important to point yourself in a direction, then make a plan and work that plan. Again, don't do this alone. Use your parents, your peers, your teachers, your minister, other adults and young people in your life as your coaches. I imagine many of you play a sport. Think about the role that a coach has in you being a talented athlete. The most successful leaders I know have a coach that helps them stay focused on being an effective leader. I believe that feedback is the breakfast of champions. But here's the thing. When you ask people what they think, they're going to tell you. So make sure that when you're seeking feedback, that you're seeking it from people who really care about you, who are trusted advisors. And on my slide, I'm suggesting that you seek this feedback from your parents and your peers. Ask them every once in a while, how do you see me operate in class? What can I do to be a better communicator? You know, I'm having a really difficult time in this situation or with this person. What do you see me doing that might be contributing to that? And remember to actively seek feedback, because we all have a blind spot that somebody that we love and trust can tell us. And that it's so important for you to learn about the world. And one of the reasons I invite you to do that is because you just need to know about the world that you live in. However, as you head to college, you'll have opportunities to travel internationally. As you seek your career, inclusive of a STEM career, you could have teammates that are working in another country. So it's so important for you to know about the world, but to also be in the world. To be in the world and know that it is your birthright to be anything you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and to live a life where you're the most important leader that really helps you live out your wildest dreams. So I've said a lot to you in this brief conversation, and it's my hope that your teachers and the folks that you're watching this with will help you process and think about this a little bit more. The question for you to consider as you're going through the rest of this conference in this series is, what role does leadership play in my ability to pursue my wildest dreams, and my ability to define who I want to be, to develop that mission, to help me develop the skills that I need, and then to help me behave my way into being a confident, competent, courageous, and calm leader who will change the world. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Miss Gwen is 66 years old, and I'm actively mentoring and coaching people your age because I am getting tired and I'm waiting for somebody to follow in my footsteps. So I want to let you know that I believe in you, I'm committed to your success, and I really believe you are the future leaders of the world. Let's go. I'm so proud of you. Here's some things books that I would encourage you to read. And learning and taking in information will help you better understand who you want to be as a leader and how to do that. So I hope these resources will help you. I also encourage you to watch TED Talks that are done by teenagers your age. Thank you so much for the opportunity to kick off your conference experience. And once again, I'm committed to your success. My hands are on your back. And if you need to find me, this is where you can contact me. Thank you so much to your school district and to the American Heart Association for inviting me to be the keynote speaker for the STEM Has Heart conference experience. Enjoy.